Alrighty, what is up, you guys? It is Garrett from Superhero Talk, and today we are in part 2 of our cosplay for Captain Cold, and today is the gun. As you can see, this guy is made out of plastic, but my first one was not, and I will show you that later if you do not want to go down the plastic route, which I highly suggest you do. It's just easier. You can really just move it, no problem. It's nice for mobility and all that kind of stuff. Easier to carry. It just looks nicer in general with the nice details. But we're gonna go through what I found. So basically, this is a Nerf, like a water gun from Nerf. It is called the Nerf Blaster, I believe. And if not, again, everything, if you watch the other parts, everything will be in the description, including the gun and where you can find to buy it. You're probably going to have to find it on Amazon or eBay, which I will find myself and leave it in the description, but purely because they don't sell this gun anymore, which really, really stinks. And yeah, so right here, I'm going to put a little thingy of what the gun looks like. And now you're going to look and you can see what the gun looks like right here. Obviously, there's a lot of changes. So let's start with the first thing I did. Right here you can see there's a wood part right up there, and there's no wood part here. So what I did basically is I took a saw and just slowly sawed it away and got rid of that, the woodness, because it just doesn't look good and it's unnecessary, and we really didn't need it, and it fits actually the design of the gun. So that was step one. Step two was then getting this part off too. It was part of the wood as well. All right, step three. I'm gonna zoom in real quick here. You can see there's no labels. So what we had to do, just spray painting over them is not a good idea. The labels will still show up and you're gonna be unpleased at the end of the day. And then you're gonna have to completely redo your gun and you're not gonna be happy. So please listen to this step carefully. What you're gonna need to do is you can either, find some sandpaper or use an electric sandpaper, which I find a lot easier, which is what I use. And you just go over your little edges where the little thingies are and just sand them right over. You can't even tell post. It just looks like some nice little wrinkles came in there just naturally from the wear and tear of the gun, of it being used. But really that was us sanding it over and getting rid of those things. So it helps the look of the gun, and obviously no one wants to see the warning labels. So that's step three. Now we go to step four, which is probably the most meticulous and annoying step of them all, and that is spray painting. It is so much fun and I love it so much, but it can be very frustrating at times when your spray paint comes down and it drips down. So I'm going to do my best to tell you how to avoid that and what to do. So the colors you're going to need is a silver, you're going to need a light blue, a dark blue, a black, and an orange. So your first steps is really spray paint the entire gun. The entire gun, just spray paint it the silver color. That way everything's just covered up. Anything that the sand that you sanded. That way you can get a feel of what the gun's going to look like. So once you've done all of that, your next step is going to be getting this top part of the gun. And the reason we want to get the top, oh crap, almost forgot. We also took this off too. I didn't really feel like I needed to, put that in the steps. You just yank it right off. It comes right off. Anyways, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get this top part the first time. And the reason we're going to get the top part first is because it's going to drip down all the side of the gun, the spray paint is, and it's going to be a real pain in the butt if you're trying to do the top last. So you want to do the top first. For the top, we just have this nice gray little outline on the entire top all the way down to the bottom to the handle, which gets black. So the top's completely gray. Then what you want to do is you want to put some blue painter's tape right on the top of the top that you just spray painted. Silver, purely because you don't want when we're spray painting these sides, we don't want this to change colors at all. We want this to stay silver. Also I do about 3 coats each for my layers. You can do less, you can do more. I suggest about at least 3. So yeah, now we're gonna head to the next part of the gun. So we've now electrical taped our top and where we already did, and now we're going to put our 3 layers right here. Do our 3 layers of silver, because we've already done 1 layer of silver on the entire gun. So we're going to let these 3 layers dry. Now they're dried, and now we're going to head to this guy. This guy right here is the most pain in the butt. So you're going to take your tape, you're going to tape off this little section, and you already got the tape on the top, so you don't got to worry about that. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take out your dark blue, and you're going to spray paint all of this dark blue, this whole section right here. So once that's dry, put your 3 coats on. Oh, sorry, wrong side. Put your 3 coats on and let that dry. When your 3 coats are done, you're going to take your light blue. The reason I experimented with it at first just to see if it would look good. It does not look good just by itself. You can, again, you don't have to go step by step for what I am doing. You can spray paint the gun how you like it. This is how I think it looks the best, as it's almost close to the gun, but it's not quite there for design wise, but it's really close. So what I did is I took my spray paint and I got not as close as you normally get when you spray paint, but a little bit farther away, so I could get these little nice like dots, I almost want to say, of just you know, light blue that follows the gun, and giving it a nice extra flavor. So now we're finished with our silver, we finished with this, we finished with our top. And this is just one side of the gun so far. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, we're going to tape with including all this other tape. So just keep in mind, all of this needs to stay taped. That way we don't spread our spray paint into the other sections, which we really don't want. We're just gonna make this guy right here light blue, as in the gun. This one you really want to make light blue. Not really any more adjustments. Same with the silver, as this is just the design of the gun, and you want to keep this light blue. And it's an exact replica of the real gun from the CW show. So then what we're gonna do, we're gonna shoot 3 coats. Then we're gonna, you know, obviously tape it over like everything else. Now we're going to get to this section right here, and this is where it gets a bit crazy. So everything else is taped, a lot of tape, but it's really not, because you're not like taping it every time. You just tape it once and you leave it taped till the end of the thing. So then we're gonna spray paint 3 coats right here of gray. We got our 3 coats. Now we're going to put our black coat along this little line right here in our trigger. And the reason we're not going to go all the way up is because it just looks like a nice, here I'll zoom in a little bit, it looks like a nice blend just right here of the black and the gray. It looks really nice. And now that I've pushed it a little bit forward, what do you notice? We've got this light blue that we used up here on the trigger and all on the black. And the reason I've done this is the black just looks very stale in general, as it's a stale color, and it didn't really work with the overall design. So what I did is I laid my gun down, I took my spray paint and went really far back with it, and then remember, everything else is covered, so it doesn't matter. So we just get these nice little speck of dots when we go really far away, and it really turns out nice in the end. So we just get this nice spots of blue. So now this whole side has been completed. It's all gray, and the top. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go flip to our other side. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna black, and then we're gonna, you know, blue and tape and all that. So it's literally just flip that reverse, you know, just do the exact same thing we did on the other side. Get that off my gun. Now we are to the front. There's multiple ways you can do this. I chose to spray paint orange and gray, or silver. You don't have to. Let me make that clear. You do not have to, because if you can remember, I'll put the image right back up again, is that this comes as orange. So if you really wanted to, you could just put your tape over your little sections and put your tape over there and just spray paint this gray 3 times. And that would work completely. And I mean, you can do that. I just wanted that nice sense of gray, so what I did is I spray painted all of this gray, or no, sorry, other way around. I spray painted all of this orange, 3 coats, 1, 2, 3. Then I put tape over my little thingies, and then I spray painted gray, 3 coats. Then I peeled off the tape, and this is what you get. Same thing with everything else. When you're finished completely, because you're finished once you get up here, just peel off all the tape, You know, do it nice. Make sure you also get in these little, you know, little edges that we've torn off too, and spray paint in there, as we don't want to leave any like, you know, not colors that, you know, because the colors in here aren't the same of all the colors out here. So make sure you spray paint in here as well. But after that, we are completely done. Then I left my gun out to dry just a day. And the reason I left it out to dry a day is here. I'll zoom in real quick. See, you see these little bubbles right here? If you don't let it dry for a day, this, when you touch it, will move. So you just really need to make sure it sits outside for a day and just dries. I don't care how good your spray paint is. Mine supposedly dries in 15 minutes, and I just let it sit out there for a day. You're probably wondering, how long did this take? And it took about a week. Just spray painting, you know, paint, all of that. But I worked non-stop for a week, so it might take you longer, and that is completely fine. I do suggest spray painting indoors if you can, and that's where I mean if you can. Otherwise, don't do it. It's not a good idea. Don't get in trouble if you're not supposed to spray paint inside. But it's nice to spray paint inside if you can, in like a basement or something. That way you can mount this gun on a table and just spray paint nice and easy. No winds, no weather factors. It's just nice. And when you're done, you can leave your spray paint down there, no problem. But if you are outside, the best times to spray paint is, you know, morning and midday. Night you don't really want to do. It gets very windy in the afternoon, and it makes it harder to spray paint. So when should you not spray paint is when it's windy. You don't want to spray paint when it's windy. It's just a bad idea in general. So just be very cautious when you're spray painting outside, as there's a lot of factors that could mess up your gun in the long run. So just make sure, you know, that we're doing, you know, what we're supposed to be doing. And that's going to be about it for part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I'm not the best at explaining these kind of things, but I hope it made sense to you. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please click the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Completely forgot, so real quick before you guys leave, this is what the foam gun looks like. Which is nice about foam, and I'm going to go through this guy really quick, as you know, the other one was main tutorial, as I like that gun a lot better. But for foam, what you just need to do is you need to cut out your pieces, craft it. It takes a while. It looks decent, foam does, when you spray paint it and all that fun stuff. This is my weapons tag from a comic event, so ignore that. But what's nice about foam is you can make it look exactly like the gun, and all your pieces and all that fun stuff. You can spend a lot of time working on it. And, you know, you can get exactly what you want for the little, you know, start and all that stuff. And you can add the little thing. But this is what the foam gun looks like. If you don't want to purchase thing on Amazon or anything like that, I get it. Not everybody does. So foam would be your next route of making the gun. It's a little bit more hands-on and a lot more time consuming. If you guys want to see how I made the foam gun, leave a comment down below saying you want to see that. If not, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial, and this is the real sign off, so I will see you guys next time. Peace.